Welcome to a special Yoga Day edition of our Explainer. We're doing things a little bit differently today. We're going to strip away the noise of dense data and just take a moment of mindful learning to explore a journey through breath, mindset, and transformation. So go ahead and allow yourself to settle in, get comfortable, and let's explore. Okay, let's dive into this. Inhale calm, exhale chaos. It's such a beautifully simple directive, isn't it? Actually, before we go any further, I want you to do this with me, right now. Take a deep breath in. Imagine you're pulling pure, quiet calm right into your body. Hold it for just a second, and now exhale. Just push out the noise, the stress, those endless to-do lists, and all the chaos of your daily life. That right there is the absolute core of everything we're going to talk about today. It's like this immediate reset button we all possess, but we so rarely remember to use. And that brings us right into part one, the foundation of breath. Focus on your breath. Breathe like it matters because, well, it absolutely does. We usually think of mindfulness as this super lofty, difficult state to achieve, like you need hours of meditation on a remote mountaintop. But true mindfulness, it starts right in your chest, every single second. Breathing is an automatic reflex. We don't have to tell our bodies to do it. Our autonomic nervous system just takes care of the whole shebang while we sleep, while we work, while we're endlessly scrolling on our phones. And because it's automatic, we completely take it for granted. But the moment you bring intentionality to your breathing, everything shifts. You're suddenly bridging the gap between the unconscious and the conscious. When you breathe like it matters, taking slow, deliberate, deep breaths, you're actually signaling to your brain that you are safe. You lower your cortisol levels, you reduce stress, and you anchor yourself firmly in the present moment. So yeah, it deeply, profoundly matters. And it's not just how we breathe, but where we breathe. Fresh air fuels deeper breaths, thoughts, and peace. Our physical environment plays a massive role in our internal state. Think about it. When you step outside, away from the recycled air of offices and living rooms, and actually take in fresh, crisp air, you're physically oxygenating your brain in a totally different way. That fresh oxygen doesn't just fill your lungs, it literally clears the mental fog. It allows for more expansive, deeper thoughts. It's honestly amazing how a simple walk outside, paired with some intentional breathing, can almost instantaneously build up a much stronger sense of inner peace. Moving right along, let's look at part two, mindful action and detox. So once we establish that internal, grounded state with our breath, what comes next? Well, we take that calm energy and we move with purpose. And this brilliantly illustrates that idea. Detox isn't in a bottle, it's on the floor. Get set, ready. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with quick fixes, right? We're constantly sold the idea that a detox is some fancy juice cleanse you buy at a high-end store or a magic pill you take. But true physical and mental detoxification is a practice. It happens right there on the yoga mat, on the floor. It's the sweat, the stretching, the physical exertion that literally wrings out the tension from your muscles and the static from your mind. Real detox requires your active participation. It requires you to show up, get on the floor, and actually do the work. Now, this proactive approach to physical detox translates perfectly to our mental landscape too. The problems you don't address should concern you. Just like physical toxins build up when we don't move and sweat, mental toxins like anxiety, fear, stress, they build up when we avoid the things we really need to face. It's human nature to want to hide from our problems, to just push them to the back of our minds, but avoidance breeds fear. Active engagement, on the other hand, is the ultimate antidote to that fear. The author James Clear really hit the nail on the head here. He says, there is no need to fear any problem you are working on. If you are working on it, then you are influencing the outcome. It's the problems you don't address that should concern you. I want that to just sink in for a second. The very act of working on an issue, no matter how small your steps are, means you are no longer a passive victim to it. You are influencing the outcome. You're taking back your power. The anxiety we feel is rarely about the problem itself. It's almost always about our avoidance of the problem. Action cures fear. Okay, let's move to part three, habits and transformation, and see how this all builds together. We've talked about the immediate moment of the breath and facing our challenges. Now, we watch how your habits shape your life. Our lives aren't really defined by those big, dramatic, once-in-a-lifetime events, are they? No, they're defined by what we do every single day. Our routines, our default reactions, our daily breath, or lack thereof. These habits are the invisible architecture of our daily lives.
But let's be honest with ourselves for a minute. Changing deeply ingrained behaviors is, notoriously, incredibly difficult.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the clever wordplay in the word habit itself. Check this out. If you remove the H, a bit remains. If you remove the A bit remains. If you remove the B, it remains. And even if you strip away the I, the T still remains. It's a playful but incredibly accurate illustration of just how stubborn habits are. You can try to strip a bad habit away piece by piece, but some part of it always seems to linger, kind of pulling you back in. It's deeply wired into our neurology, and honestly, this is exactly why we so often fail when we try to completely reinvent ourselves overnight. Because overnight reinvention is pretty much a myth. We have to pivot away from demanding perfection. Progress, not perfection. Aim to be 1% better each week and see yourself transform. This right here is the secret sauce. When you let go of the need to have the absolutely perfect yoga practice, the flawless diet, or the perfectly calm mind 24/7, you free yourself up to actually make sustainable changes. You replace the crushing burden of perfection with the light, forward momentum of progress.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is that tiny number, 1%. You don't need a massive life overhaul. You don't have to completely rewire your entire existence by tomorrow morning. You just need to aim to be a tiny, almost imperceptible 1% better each week. Think about it. Can you breathe just 1% deeper today? Can you spend just 1% more time addressing a problem rather than avoiding it? Over weeks, months, and years, the compound interest of that 1% leads to massive, literally unrecognizable transformation. It's the most practical magic there is. Which brings me to my parting question for you on this yoga day. How will you use your breath to be 1% better today? Will you use it to find a quick moment of calm before a really stressful meeting? Will you use it to push through just one more stretch on the floor? Or maybe, will you use it to find the courage to finally address a problem you've been avoiding? The tool is quite literally right there in your chest. The choice is yours. Thank you so much for slowing down and taking this mindful journey through today's explainer with me. Take one last deep breath.